¿Qué pasa to the pack? It is Pack here. We're getting the 6th roster update of NBA 2K23 this coming Thursday. What I want to do in today's video is look at the players that have been doing very good in the regular season of the NBA, and I want to judge them on their ratings, where I think they should go up or down in this video. If you like that kind of content when it comes to players, ratings, reactions, all that kind of stuff, please join the pack and subscribe. I do it almost every single day. Let's get it, man. And I'm not going to start off with the Philadelphia 76ers as I usually do. We're going to start off with the Wizards. We're going to go from back to front, okay? Let's go. Now, if I don't mention your favorite team, by the way, it's because I feel like that there is no major change. This is only major changes I'm looking at, so no Wizard stuff in my opinion. But for the Warriors, more than anybody, it's absolutely going to be Anthony Lamb. Their two-way player. He's only a 73 overall. Anthony Lamb has been getting serious minutes for the Warriors, averaging 12 points per game in the last 10 games. It's been a pretty good start for Anthony Lamb in his serious minutes he's been getting this season. He's been an integral part to the team. I'm putting him up to a +3. He's been that important to the Warriors. He's been getting that many minutes. It's a good start for Anthony Lamb. For the Trailblazers, I feel bad for the Blazers because they're actually not doing that good in the regular season. That being said, Damian Lillard needs to go up. He's putting up video game numbers right now, like 35 points per game in the last 10 games. Great efficiency, good playmaking. They're just not winning games, right? But it's not Damian Lillard's fault. Listen, we had Damian Lillard up to a 95 overall in his prime. He's playing as good as he ever has been right now. But I'm going to put him at a 94 overall, so +3 for him. Still very good, but not that crazy 95 that we're used to, because that would put him above John Morant, and that does feel a little weird. Going to the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm going to go Josh Giddey. This is the first time I've mentioned Josh Giddey this year in ratings. He's going to go up to an 85 overall. The Thunder actually have been okay this year. In terms of regular season record, they've been very solid. Now, that's mostly because of SGA's insane regular season, but the rest of the team is kind of starting to show the true colors, and Josh Giddey is being one of those players. He's been averaging in the last 10 games 19 points per game, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. So close to triple-double. This is more or less DeJounte Murray Spurs numbers, right? Except a little less points per game. I'd put him up to an 85 overall, personally. He's finally kind of shown himself to be this great player. He's starting to see how good he can be with a serious team. Wait until the Thunder get, Poku healthy, and then obviously Chet Holmgren healthy, and then whoever they draft. They could be a very good team next year. We'll have to wait and see. Now we go all the way to the Dallas Mavericks. Indeed, I didn't see anybody until we got to the Mavericks, but the first one I want to mention is the rookie Jaden Hardy. Jaden Hardy's only a 70 overall, but the Dallas Mavericks has been looking for help for Luka Doncic. This team has mostly been a Luka carried team. However, the Mavericks are looking pretty okay for being in the Western Conference, still being a playoff team right now. Now, because Luka Doncic has been having to carry the load by himself, they needed to find other players in their depth to help Luka in any way possible, and here comes Jaden Hardy. He's been fantastic so far, playing in the last 10 games, 20 minutes a game. I believe he's averaging somewhere around 10 points per game. Jaden Hardy goes from a 70 to a 75 overall. I'm assuming he's going to go +5 for the regular season. That would make him the highest upgraded player of 2023 so far, and I do believe he deserved it. I mean, that's a good sign for the Mavericks to have someone playing this well this young. But we really need to talk about Christian Wood. Christian Wood's been an amazing defender. He's been averaging 27 points in the last 10 games on great efficiency, good rebounding, good block numbers. Why is he not a 87 overall? They're actually playing him now. He's actually doing a good job. I have him all the way up to an 87 overall. Still nothing close to Luka Doncic, right? But I would not say Luka Doncic has been alone lately. It's definitely been a lot of Christian Wood playing well. Oh man, I have a question for you guys. Is LeBron a 97 overall? The Los Angeles Lakers have been losing games, but that's been because of injuries. Anthony Davis has been hurt. Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker's been hurt. It's not LeBron's fault the team's been injured all season. LeBron's averaging in the last 10 games 36 points per game on 55% from the field, while also obviously getting like 9 assists, 9 rebounds. He's the LeBron James we know he is. He's still putting up numbers as if he's in his prime. It's insane. If he's in his prime, then shouldn't he be tied as the best player in the NBA? I know it's weird because the Lakers are losing, but it's not LeBron's fault. It's obviously not LeBron's fault. I'm proposing that we put him at a 97 overall. I know that would make a lot of players tied as the best player, but LeBron's been that good. What can you say for the New York Knicks? It's weird because the Knicks have been a little weird, losing games that they probably shouldn't be losing, but they're playing very well individually. Jalen Brunson, I'm going to put him as +2 to an 88 overall, averaging 30 points per game in the last 10 games on 55% from the field. If you know anything about basketball, a guard averaging 55% from the field, especially someone who's 6'2", is insane. He's also been an amazing playmaker, averaging 8 assists on like 2 turnovers. It's just, he's been that good. What can you say? You can't not give him a rating. I don't think anybody realized Jalen Brunson was going to be this good. Everyone was making fun of him for the amount of money that the Knicks paid for him, but he's been worth every single dollar. Can you really complain? He's been that good. With Julius Randle, I'm going to put him as a +1. No one should be rated higher than Julius Randle on the Knicks, so I'm going to have him tied with Jalen Brunson. He's averaging like 27 on 45% from the field, but he's averaging like 14 rebounds a game. Look, Julius Randle's been amazing. He's had weird moments, but he's been the best player on the Knicks throughout the entire season, so having anyone above him would feel wrong. I have him as a +1. For the Sacramento Kings, I have Harrison Barnes +2. He's averaging 20 points per game. Harrison Barnes has been the kind of the question mark of the Kings. The Kings have been amazing this year, and I'll talk about them more in a second. But it's mostly been because of their best players. Harrison Barnes was a guy that has been averaging, in prior seasons, 19 points per game, 19 points per game. He was known for hitting really difficult shots on people. He's slowed down over the years. He's gotten older, right? Other players have gotten better at him on the same team. But this year, lately, in the last 10 games, he's averaging 21 points per game. So Harrison Barnes has been very good. The efficiency has been there. If he continues to play like that, I have him as a +2, as an 81 overall, as the 3rd best player on the Sacramento Kings. But we got to talk about Sabonis. I'm going to say +3 to a 91 overall. I know that's insane, but the numbers that Sabonis is putting up, the only player in the NBA that's even remotely doing what he's doing is Jokic. And Jokic technically does it better, right? But Sabonis is very similarly averaging what Jokic is averaging. If that's the case, I'm putting him at a 91 overall. This is one of the best teams in the Western Conference. The Kings have no business being this good. No one thought they were going to be this good. I thought they'd maybe be a playoff team, but not this good, right? That's been because of Sabonis' insane play. He's been an all-NBA center level kind of player this year. I have him as a 91. The points he's putting up are video game points, and the record speaks for itself. If that's all true, then Sabonis deserves this kind of rating. And for the Utah Jazz, I don't know what's in the water in the NBA lately, but Lauri Markkanen's been amazing. He's an 86 overall right now. I'm going to put him +3. The Jazz have been winning games again. No one thought this team would be a playoff team. He's very, very similar to what Sabonis was, but at a different level. Lauri Markkanen is averaging 30 points per game in the last 10 games on 60% from the field, okay? This team is winning games because of Lauri Markkanen. He's the absolute best player on this team. I know it's out of nowhere. I know no one would ever predicted that Lauri Markkanen would be an 89 overall as of today, but here we are. It's looking valid. I'm going to give it to him. I know it's insane, but he's earned it. I'm putting him at an 89 overall. Lauri Markkanen's been that good. For the Miami Heat, a good amount of changes. We have Bam Adebayo. I'm going to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. Bam Adebayo is in the 90 overall club. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA. He has been the best scorer on the Miami Heat throughout the entire year. What is there more to say? They're one of the better teams in the East right now. They're winning a lot of games lately. He's an amazing scorer. He's an amazing defender. He is a 90 overall. Would that make him near Jimmy Butler? Yes, but I'm not afraid to say that Bam Adebayo is really close to Jimmy Butler right now in terms of who's the best player on the Miami Heat. He's been amazing. It's time to start being afraid to put players in the 90 overall when they deserve it. Bam is up there because, I know Sabonis is averaging more points, right, than him. I know that Lauri Markkanen is averaging more points than him, but Bam Adebayo is a way better defender. So it is what it is. And Victor Oladipo +2. I think he should be clearly above Kyle Lowry right now. He's been scoring really well ever since coming back from injury. And the defense has been elite lately. I'm actually impressed how good Victor Oladipo has been playing defensively. I'm happy for him. I hope he stays healthy this year because he's been struggling with injuries for a couple years now. It's exciting to see how good Victor Oladipo is going to be for the rest of the year for the Miami Heat. That's why they're playing a lot better, because his return. For the Memphis Grizzlies, Desmond Bane. I'm saying +2, tied as the second best player with Jaren Jackson Jr. I hated that they downgraded Desmond Bane because basically his numbers went down because of A, he was injured for a little bit, and B, because Jaren Jackson Jr. came back from injury. So he didn't know how to play with a brand new player on the court. And so that always happens. It's like the inconsistencies of who's playing good and who's not when a new player is added coming back from injury. That always happens. But Desmond Bane was clearly valid all year, and he's returned to form. He's absolutely tied as the second best player on this team without a doubt. For the Los Angeles Clippers, Kawhi Leonard +3. Kawhi is back. He's back. he's back. Look, the Clippers, when healthy, they're going to be a great team. Kawhi Leonard, when healthy, was a 96 overall, right? I'm not saying we need to put him up to 96 because he's clearly still a little bit injured. You can still tell he's like struggling a little bit here and there, but offensively, he's back. He's back. He's a 93 overall, in my opinion. We all know how good Kawhi is when healthy, and he's showing it. And 93 overall, starting off for Kawhi Leonard, and I would not be shocked if it continues to grow even higher than that. A formal apology for Malcolm Brogdon for me. He's an 82 overall. I have him as an 85. He's the third leading scorer on the Celtics lately. He's a good defender. He's a good playmaker. I have him tied with Robert Williams III. I know that's a little weird. I know the Celtics fans love Robert Williams and believe this man is like a 90 overall. That's nice and all. I look at a team in its totality. I don't just look at eye test and like defensive stuff. I also look at stats. I think it's important too. And on the table, Malcolm Brogdon has been tied as the third best player on this team lately. For the Cavaliers, I'm going to say Caris LeVert +2. He's been the third leading scorer as of late. He's been very efficient as well, which is very important. I don't think he needs to be in the 80 overall club, but I do think he needs to be tied with Kevin Love right now. I think they both provide their role perfectly. And I think the Caris LeVert needs to be appropriate to a 79 overall. Now, again, I'm not saying he needs to be like an amazing player or anything. I know that he has inconsistency issues. His efficiency can be weird. And on top of that, he's mostly just a scorer. But he's doing a really good job of just scoring. Kind of that Jordan Clarkson rating, right? That's where he needs to be. Now, we got to talk about the Chicago Bulls a lot because they have gotten a lot better lately. Not DeMar, but everyone else. I'll start off with Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams has been a starter for the Bulls. He's been a very good scorer lately. I believe he's averaging 15 points in the last 10 games. I have him all the way up to a 77 overall, and I would not be shocked if it continues to go up throughout the year. He's been looking good. He's been trying to find his breakout moment. I think this stretch of the year has been his breakout moment. I have Vooch going +2. to an 85 overall. I believe in the last 10 games, it's been like 23 points per game, 14 rebounds, and like 55% for the field, something near those numbers. Vooch has been good. So if he's going to be that good throughout the year, he's playing like he was in his prime back in Orlando, the same kind of numbers he was putting up back then. If he's going to be doing that, then I have him as an 85 overall, just like he was in Orlando. And Zach LaVine. A hot take. I know we're not ready for this conversation. You've heard me bring this up before, so I don't think we're going to be that upset with me when I say this, but I believe Zach LaVine is tied as the best player on the Chicago Bulls. I hated that they downgraded him to an 85 overall in the first place. I thought that was an extreme over-exaggeration. Look, I know that DeMar averages more points, but as you guys tell me all the time, stats aren't everything. Zach LaVine is the more overall well-rounded player. He's a better defender than DeMar. He's a way better three-point shooter than DeMar. Yes, does DeMar average a couple more points than him, like 1 or 2? Yes. Is he more efficient? Technically, DeMar's a more efficient player, but Zach LaVine's a way more efficient three-point shooter. So they even out. That's just how that works. So I don't think so. I think that Zach LaVine is tied as the best player on the Chicago Bulls. I have seen it. I've preached it for a couple years now, and I continue to think that way. Zach LaVine's an 88 overall. And finally, for the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid +1. Joel Embiid has been probably the best defender in basketball this year, at least in the conversation for it. He's been one of the most efficient players. He's averaging some of the most points in the game. In my personal opinion, I believe that Joel Embiid is MVP of the NBA. I think he's tied as the best player. I know there's a lot of players tying for the best in the NBA with Giannis, Luka, Jokic. It would be Embiid as well. I know, and even maybe LeBron, and maybe even KD if we're thinking about it. I know it's weird. I do think Joel Embiid is in the conversation as best in the NBA because of his defensive prowess as well as his scoring has been elite this year. He's my personal MVP for the year. I think he's been very impressive. I think the 76ers have been riddled with injuries and he's been carrying this team all year. He deserves to be MVP. James Harden has been playing not as good as he was in Houston because he's not the scorer that he used to be, but it's because he doesn't need to be the scorer he used to be because everyone else, Tyrese Maxey's a bucket, Tobias Harris is still doing well, and then Joel Embiid's averaging like 35 a game. James Harden doesn't need to average 28 or 30 or 35. He doesn't need to. He's a great playmaker, and he's proving that with the 76ers this season. I have him as a 92 overall at the minimum, and I think the 76ers, if they continue to play like this, they're going to be contenders for the NBA championship. That's what I feel. Let me know what you guys feel in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know. And if you like this channel, please give it a sub. I'll see you guys next time.